This is KGW News at noon.
We start this afternoon with a wildfire that's burning near the Bull Run Reservoir in Clackamas County. Clackamas Fire shared these pictures and video with us. It's burned about 40 acres south of the Bull Run Dam, so we're talking about Forest Service land here, not anything that's close to homes at this point. The Oregon Department of Forestry is bringing in planes for water drops to help put it out.
3, louder, 1, get out of here! We will see you.
One of our other top stories this afternoon, the 41st annual Hood to Coast Relay. There you see early this morning the first of thousands of relay runners taking off from Timberline Lodge on the way to Seaside. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Drew Carney. Hood to Coast is also known as the mother of all relays, and KGW's Devin Haskins spent the morning at the start line.
2, 1, get out of here!
1,500 teams, more than 19,000 runners taking part in this year's Hood to Coast. And it all starts right here on Mount Hood.
We have 50 states, 40 countries. We're full speed now.
Hood to Coast is a 2-day, nearly 200-mile relay that draws all sorts of characters.
Yeah, I'm here, I'm back for more fat.
This is team, well, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Let's go back, fat. This is our 6th time, and we are 6-time division champions.
Division? Wait, division. Explain that division to me. What do you mean?
The heavyweight division. We're winners.
Is there a heavyweight division?
Of course, we made it up.
From one set of characters
You gotta eat a lot of carbs to get from this mountain all the way down to that beach.
to another. This time a set of superheroes.
I think this team started with all first responders. We have 2 doctors, 2 firefighters, right? And then they invited the rest of us to join their crew.
The parking lot at Timberline Lodge became an early morning party spot, even in the blowing wind before the sun even rose.
And this is the key moment, right? Everyone's so happy, everyone's smiling because you're not feeling the pain yet. You know, that comes later.
The first leg of Hood to Coast is a 5-mile downhill run that kicks things off for the mother of all relays.
33rd year.
33rd, what keeps you coming back?
The camaraderie, great friends, helps you stay thin for the summer.
Despite the grueling nature of it, it's a relay race that keeps spirits high.
It's good, man. Beautiful morning.
And the adrenaline going.
Let's go, Kara.
Yeah! Good job! You're so fast!
So much so, KGW's Evan Watson ran 2 legs back to back.
You're on your second leg. Second leg, where we were short one person, so we had to double up somewhere. So this is my morning. But great time.
Leaving Evan in the dust, I'm Devin Haskins, KGW News.
Good job by Devin and Evan Watson, a running animal on the Hood to Coast Trail. Hey, another story we covered this morning was the weather. The lightning we're showing you here from our Rose City Skycam shows off these lightning strikes during the 5 a.m. hour. Let's go to Rod Hill now in the Weather Center. Somehow, Rod, that weather managed to avoid all the runners up there at Mount Hood.
It did. That was certainly a safety concern. There were no significant rain showers between Mount Hood and Sandy during the morning hours when this event was moving south to north across our area. For the most part, now what's left, by the way, is what you're looking at. So the wave of moisture now almost getting ready to push north of Seattle. There's still a little bit of rain nipping northeastern Oregon. But for us here at home, we had lightning at the coast range, the valley. Central Oregon was lit up at one point, also out in eastern Oregon. It was an impressive batch of thunderstorm activity. Vancouver lightning, Brent Angelo is sending me this shot that he grabbed. He got a couple different strikes there. Looks very impressive. And speaking of impressive, the National Weather Service putting this out on their social media today saying roughly 1,500 lightning strikes across Oregon, parts of southern Washington and northern Oregon last night into early this morning. And all these orange spots on this black background indicate how widespread the lightning was. It was impressive. There were no reports, by the way, of any severe weather. Lightning itself does not warrant a severe weather warning. We had no damaging winds. We had no large hail. 80 degrees, the temperature outside right now. Just like that, it's a hazy, warm to hot day. 92 is our projected high temperature. We'll get more into the Hood to Coast relay forecast. Of course, tomorrow is the seaside finish. What to expect, that's coming up.
All right, we'll have more from Rod here in about 10 minutes. But right now, back to some local news headlines. The Oregon State University Board of Trustees is meeting this afternoon, and one of the items on the agenda is an update on where things stand with the Pac-12. The Beavers are one of only 4 teams remaining in the conference at this point, after some schools left for the Big Ten and others went to the Big 12. ESPN also reported earlier this week that the ACC is still considering the additions of Stanford and Cal, so that would bring the Pac-12 down to 2, Oregon State and Washington State. We'll update you later today with anything we learn from this afternoon's meeting. We also caught up with teachers from 2 of the biggest school districts in Southwest Washington as they gear up for the possibility of a strike. Teachers in both the Evergreen and Camas school districts have already voted to authorize a strike. They also share a similar list of demands, including pay raises and increased staffing. Camas teachers say if no deal is reached, they're ready to strike on the first day of school this coming Monday. They spent last night preparing signs for the picket line.
I hope that over the next couple of days, the district really looks at the contract that we've proposed and realizes that it's about making things work for students and teachers and accepts that.
We don't have an ulterior motive, probably less than anyone else. Parents and teachers, have no other goal except to get kids what they need.
Both school districts say if there is a strike, they'll add days to the school year calendar so no classroom time is actually lost. The man accused of kidnapping a woman and holding her in a homemade cinder block cell in Klamath Falls last month now faces additional charges after he reportedly tried to escape his jail cell in Medford. According to the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, a county maintenance worker heard Nagasi Zuberi trying to break through an exterior reinforced glass window earlier this week. After searching his cell, deputies say they also found some sort of tool that they believe Zuberi used to damage that window. Officials in Maui have released the names of the 388 people who are still missing 2 weeks after the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than a century. The FBI put the list together. There's another 1,700 people who were initially reported as missing but have since been found. The number of people confirmed dead stands at 115, although that number is still expected to rise as the search for the missing continues. Search crews have reportedly covered and cleared about 85% of the area, but the remainder of the search will still take weeks to complete. Recovery efforts in Maui are moving into a new phase at this point, with hundreds transitioning from overnight shelters into year-long housing. Red Cross volunteer Aaron Hayes lives in Washington and just returned after spending over a week in Maui. He supervised one of the overnight shelters that provided more than 800 survivors a place to sleep. The Red Cross says 6,000 Hawaiians have signed up to help out since the fires began. They're working alongside visiting volunteers to keep people housed and fed.
We had people helping us out in the shelter that lost their house, that lost relatives, that just wanted to do something to help.
The Red Cross is helping people reunite with friends and family they can't find or get in contact with. So far, it's received 3,000 requests for welfare checks.